Hi, I'm Susie Miller, the Better Relationship Coach, and I'm committed to helping you create better relationships in 30 days or less, even if you're the only one making an effort. And on today's episode of Better Relationship TV, we're going to be talking about that very fact. Sometimes I have clients come to me and they're the only one who's making an effort in their relationships. They're concerned, they're worried, they've given up hope that can it get better? Can I make a difference? If only one of us is involved in making the relationship better, can it change? And I tell them, yes, as long as you're willing to make an effort. I call it the 100-0% marriages. Good marriages are 100-100. You're both giving, you're both fully invested. You know, a lot of people talk about 50-50, and I call 50-50 marriages scorekeeping. But when one party and the one spouse doesn't want to work on the relationship and the other spouse does, then you're in a 100-0 situation where you are 100% invested in what you can give and what you can do and how you can show you love and care for them with 0% expectation of what they'll give back. Now, it is not easy. It is actually quite hard to do, but it really does impact the person that you love, because basically what you're saying is, I don't need you to respond to me. I want you to. I don't need you to do anything for me. I'm going to show my love for you because I love you with nothing expected in return. And when people are cared for with no ulterior motive, you know, with no underlying, well, I hope this gets to them, they relax and they begin to watch you and they begin to understand that you really do mean what you say. You can't undo 3 years of, not treating him well or her well in 3 months, but you can make a dent and improve in 30 days or less. And so one example I use a lot is in the 100-0 is when you have a situation where your spouse might come to you, your wife might come to you and she might say, you know what, I'm really frustrated that you're not home on time. You say you're going to be and you're not home on time. And for entrepreneurs, this is really tough because what's our first response? I have a husband who was an entrepreneur for 32 years of our marriage, all of it. And there were times I'd be like, oh my gosh, why are you're not home? You said you would be. Now as an entrepreneur, I understand. It's like I lost track of time. I got totally involved and the business seems to always come first. This is true for executives who are really busy helping a corporation grow. Anybody who's just in love with what they do, it's really easy to get lost in what we were doing. And it's helping provide for the family. So for example, you come home late and she says to you, oh, I'm so frustrated that you're home late. Most of us, most men I know, and me included, our first response would be to go, well, I was working hard for the family, or I got distracted, and we have that I response. Let me explain myself. I want to get out of trouble. And so what I tell people is if you pause in that moment and you validate and clarify what they're saying and what they're feeling, it will go a long way in helping your relationship get better, even if their response isn't ideal. Now, you would say, I'm sorry, I'm late. I understand that you're frustrated. Can you tell me more about that? Can you tell me, how you feel? Can you tell me what's going on? Can you tell me your thoughts? I mean, when you ask your wife that, she's going to be like, wow, he cares what I think. And you have to listen with your mouth closed and your brain kind of turned off because you're going to be in fix-it mode. She's going to be like, well, the dinner got cold and I was frustrated because I worked on a hard dinner. And you're going to tell her that it can be heated up in the microwave. And that's not going to help. So one of the things I tell my clients, and I try to do myself, is to validate. Tell me how that feels. Can you tell me more about that? I understand why you would feel that way. Now, you're not saying, I was late on purpose because I'm such a jerk. You are saying, I understand that my actions impacted you and made you upset or disappointed, and I'm sorry. When we clarify and validate with nothing expected in return, we go a long way to improving our relationships. So this week, give it a try. Validate instead of defend yourself. See how it goes. Let me know, and we'll talk next week on Better Relationship TV.